Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined again by Mark Olmos after a tremendous trip at Broome. Mark, great to have you back.
Yeah, it's great to be in Perth, Adam, and welcome to our viewers. I still saw the races at Belmont. It was a sensational day. Great to see First Among Equals go back-to-back in black type company. But even this card on Wednesday, all these three-year-old races are building towards the spring, which will be very, very exciting.
Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with, and it's a shame that you didn't bring the sun with you from Broome because we have more rain expected on course at Belmont Park, so do keep an eye on the track rating. Some strong winds expected as well, so should be quite an interesting day. The rail is out 18 metres with a cutaway in the straight. Let's get straight into race number one. It is the Sweps Maiden at 1,000 metres, an event for the three-year-olds. There's some Saturday company in here. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to see where these horses go to, Adam. I think there's a few that can progress and go on to bigger things, at least Saturday races. We'll have a look at the most recent start of My Brother Pencil, who ran second behind Swift Platinum.
And bounce down, and My Shoes Exquisite on the inside. They come away from Arabian Angel and Furtzer Fence. Swift Platinum has raced up now with My Brother Pencil to tackle Scalabrino. Bounce down just in behind them, but the grey gelding, Swift Platinum 1.5 to either My Brother Pencil.
It's a nice run there, my Brother Pencil, or the Swift Platinum 4 lines. I actually think they're going to hold up. Swift Platinum was a good horse last campaign, but just couldn't run a 1,000 metres out strongly. That horse seems to have matured, and we do know has a lot of speed. Now you get Barrier 5 and the claim to Jordan Turner as well. On a day where I think you're going to want to be on speed, has placed on a soft track as well. This horse ticks a lot of boxes. I'd expect it to be running in the top 4.
Yes, the other one that ticks a lot of boxes and has opened up a very short quote is number 2, Badge of Courage, and of course comes from that Saturday race behind the Celt. It was a good run on that occasion. It led them up at its first start, which it was always going to do, but it was interesting to see what it had left in the tank. It was still a good enough effort for its first time at the races. Yeah,
it was. That was a question mark for mine going into the race, just against these more experienced horses, but those form lines are certainly going to hold up. The question mark has to be the barrier, but we've just seen Simon Miller's Gallopers jump so quickly to the front as well. I think second up now, with that race experience, this horse will be able to cross, get into a nice position. I think it's opened up too short, but I think it's the one that deserves to be on top.
Yeah, those form lines look the strongest indeed. Number 4 as well, Mount Charlotte from the Ross Price Yard. If you go back and have a look at the replay of this horse, it just got onto heels rounding the first turn, and I think it was certainly a forgive run. It battled on and it's opened up at the healthy odds of $12. Look, grey colt, still a lot to learn and quite green, but once it puts it all together and if it learns to settle, I think it's a really big danger here from Barrier 1 again.
There's two massive positives here for mine. The first is the barrier that you mentioned, Barrier 1. She just get a really nice run behind the speed. The second is dropping from 1,200 to 1,000. I think this horse would get 1,200 comfortably, but I just think for that second start, it clearly showed a bit of greenness and just that struggle to slow down throughout. I think the speed's really going to suit, and it has to be a winning chance as well after that performance. It looked very good in the yard. I remember we both discussed that as well for our Singapore viewers. Selections though, I am going to go with number 2, Badge of Courage, from number 9, Red Noir, number 1, My Brother Pencil, and 4, Mount Charlotte.
I've put the 4 on top, Adam, at healthy each way odds, Mount Charlotte, from the 2, Badge of Courage, number 9, Red Noir, and the 8, Jazindi.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It is over the 1,400 metres, an event for the 3-year-olds and up. And there's a couple here that have shown midweek and provincial form that may be able to go on to that next level, but this is a winning chance for a few of the gallopers that may be a little bit better than the others in the field.
Indeed, the 3-year-olds down the bottom there seem to hold the keys to the races, and one of those is Magic Las Vegas out of the Paul Jordan Yard, who ran third last start behind Night Watchman.
Still a length clear from on the outside here and there. Night Watchman, the Gangbusters just struggling for the moment behind those. Down by the 200 though, and Night Watchman races up on the outside to stick his nose in front. It's Night Watchman ahead clear. Rich Red is trying to rally, fighting back. Night Watchman hard ridden from Rich Red. Magic Las Vegas, but Night Watchman's in front, and it's Night Watchman.
Strong performance by this gelding by Trade Fair. We mentioned going into the race that we thought the price was massive overs at $31. Has shown enough form over those 1,300 metres, and I remember in the mounting yard, lost to Parading by 2.3 lengths, but Parading was one that got closest to Sweet Aura in the run before that. So I thought they all stacked up quite nicely for a horse that was very good each way chance. Ended up doing that, running third behind Night Watchman, beaten 1.5 lengths. Now jumps from Barrier 4, which should be a really nice run. Lisa Staples goes back on board. She's ridden this horse twice before as well. Again, on a day where you want to be in front, I think this horse is certainly a good chance.
Yeah, it's opened up $6, which is good each way value for mine. Lisa Staples, of course, takes the ride from Ryan Hill. Big chance, those Saturday form lines. And number 13, 4 White Fox from the Simon Miller yard. Peter Nucky rides here, this son of Foxwedge.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this galloper goes. I know that Aaron Mitchell was so confident going into the last race, and it was a really good ride on that occasion from barrier 13. Finished second behind the High Chaparral filly, Taken High. Barrier 6 now, 55.5 kilos. I think this horse is just going to be in a much better position, not have to do as much work through the early stages. And again, I think the 1400 metres is another added bonus.
Another interesting runner here is number 2, Andreini from the David Harrison yard. Patrick Carberry is riding. The last time we saw it was on the 4th of August. In a maiden at Pinjarra, was beaten 3.5 lengths by Serious Prospect.
Form lines are a mile better than any other galloper in this race. Go back to last prepper behind Awesome As, also Big Time Flirt, and Yes You Can, carrying 58 kilos. Jumps from barrier 5 here. Thought it was a good run behind Serious Prospect. A, the 1200 metres was too short. B, didn't go in without a trial. I think there's a lot of positives here, and that's the way that I'm actually going to tip, hoping for some each way odds. Number 2, Andreini from number 12, Magic Las Vegas, 13, 4 White Fox, and number 9, SUNTRAPPER.
I think there might be a little bit more upside with the 3-year-olds here, which is why I've got the 12 on top. Magic Las Vegas from the 13, 4 White Fox, number 10, Cornicello, and number 4, Lone Sailor.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park, also over the 1400 metres here, and some interesting form lines because we've got a couple that have gone head-to-head. Big Caroline and Sealed with a Kiss came 2nd and 3rd respectively in their last race, and then going back to last start when Jaspara won, Special Jewel finished 3rd in that race and has since come out and won as well. So there are some good form lines to match up.
Yeah, Special Jewel seems to be one of our favourite replay horses. We're going to show her again here after she won last week, beating Black Grape.
Special Jewel just for a stride. Black Grape, the grey on the outside. Starkle down towards the cutaway is next, followed further back by Stormy Grace. At the 250, Tycoon Target challenged by Black Grape, and now Special Jewel is starting to get busy on the inside with Starkle. Down to the 100, Black Grape. Special Jewel getting through, has claimed it. Special Jewel races past Black Grape, Starkle, Tycoon Target, Special Jewel.
Good performance on that occasion by Special Jewel. We mentioned going into the race that it was probably one of the better bets of the day, but does need everything to go her way. She got that from barrier 1 on that occasion, jumped at $2.80 and won by a long neck. Now she'll get a really nice run again from barrier 4, goes up to the 57 kilos. My question mark is just her ability. Post-race, for those that heard the interview, there was talks that she was going to go to stud from this. Now, William Pike just said, while she's running well, and we know the way that Grant and Lana Williams train, which they're not too hard on their horses, he said, you might as well go around again and try win another race. I think that's smart moves because she is getting better with each start. My question mark, though, as I said, for Jaspara last start, beat Special Jewel, and that was 3 starts ago for Special Jewel. It actually makes it better in the weights again now. So whether Special Jewel's able to turn the tables with that weight swing as well, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, she seems to have a little bit of ability there. Of course, only a 4-year-old now and relatively lightly raced with the 9 starts. But yeah, those three runs in 3 weeks, you have to consider that as well. Last start winner, we had number 3, Shekan Shazam. Fred Kersley trains, and wasn't that a massive win first up? 3 wide and battled on well to the line.
I remember you wanted to put it in your numbers, but for good reason. We just couldn't. We'd seen one trial which it lost by 14 lengths. The breeding was good enough. The form lines over East were fair as well. But we just had to see the performance. Now, I don't think we expected to win the way it did, but it was a really good run on that occasion. There's a couple of knocks here, though. 58 kilos again against a much better field. And a day where you want to be forward, I cannot see that this horse is going to be in that position. So I'm willing to take it on here.
Yeah, absolutely. The breeding, as we mentioned, 1400 metres be interesting. Fred Kersley says she'll get every bit of it, probably further, but it'll be interesting to see how she goes here. Number 6 as well, Big Caroline. 2nd to Regal Gleam last start, then 2nd behind Maginica. Those are really, really solid form lines.
Strong form lines, but Big Caroline likes to do this as well. 30 starts, 7 placings, 2 wins. Hasn't won for 725 days. Has had 6 runs at the 1400 metres and has never placed. Beat Sealed with a Kiss last start, jumped from barrier 12 on that occasion, while Sealed with a Kiss jumped from barrier 1. That was a first up performance, so I'm expecting Sealed with a Kiss to improve again, but I just think Big Caroline might be getting closer for that win. Jared Noski riding, I really like the Regal Gleam 4 lines, so I'm willing to take on that 725 day drought and put her on top from number 7, Sealed with a Kiss, 5 Jaspara and 8 Special Jewel.
I'm sticking with the 8 on top, Adam. Special Jewel for me. From the 6, Big Caroline. Number 1, Skellig to run a cheeky race, and 10, O'Reilly's Crumpet.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It is over the 1700 metres. And I think this is one of the better races of the day. A, because we've got genuine speed. And B, there's a lot of horses that are really going to like the sting out of the track and be more suited compared to the ones that are just trying to get through this type of conditions.
Yeah, one that ticks both of those boxes, Adam, is number 2, Gloryland, who seems to have an affinity with Pinjarra. Let's have a look at that last start win.
And then followed by Valmont together with Mystic Dust and Queen of Teas, and Politics is further out on the track, but down towards the 200 now. Still Gloryland with a margin of 2. Mater Remedy is trying. Jester Rock moves to third from Killat. Riverbend Cowboy the inside. Kensington Abbey and Politics from well back, but it's too late. It's Gloryland clear, and Gloryland wins easy. Jester Rock up.
Really strong performance there by Gloryland, winning by 3 lengths. But the point that you bring up, I think, is the key. This horse has had 3 runs at Belmont and has shown nothing. For some reason, just absolutely loves Pinjarra. But there's a lot of bonuses for this horse moving forward. A, last campaign when it found that win, it strung a few together, which I think is a big tick. Second, it's going to be a leader's day. Third, it's going to be soft track. And I think that's the big bonus here for Gloryland. 59 kilos, it carries the weight. There's no issue with that. I'm just going with the toughness of this 5-year-old gelding over something like a mare in Faux Shizzle who's still got to carry 57.5.
Yeah, and we've seen with gallopers like this, the free striding ones out in front from barrier 10, that's probably a positive. It can go up and sit outside the leader, whereas if it's drawn inside and then goes forward, can get pressured very heavily and just pestered and annoyed in the run. So I think that's a positive, barrier 10. We've also got number 1, Faux Shizzle. Darren McAuliffe trains. Now this one drops significantly in class and has to be considered.
The form lines are very good behind Thunderclap, Newman and Material Man. They've been held up from the weekend as well. This horse has a good soft track record as well. Does not mind the distances, won over the 1700 metres. With that claim and barrier 1, should be our natural leader throughout. I think Gloryland will sit outside Faux Shizzle, and again, as you mentioned, has to be a winning chance.
Number 8, Jester Rock, comes out of that Gloryland race at Pinjarra and has to be considered a chance as well. Steve Wolfyard is flying.
Beaten 3 lengths by Gloryland. Hard to see how to turn the tables. Gets a 1.5 kilo swing though. Sean McGruddy goes back on board. Has won on a soft track before. Has placed at the track and distance as well. But I think I'd still prefer the top 2 over Jester Rock. And for that reason, I'm still going to go with number 2 Gloryland from 1 Faux Shizzle, number 3 Goldbow, and 8 Jester Rock.
I'm going to go with the 1 on top, Adam Faux Shizzle. I think she'll have Gloryland. Number 2, Gloryland for second. Number 8 there, Jester Rock, and the 6, Prentice.